Chapter 91 The System's Little Pain. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yang Yi left, the other two right behind him. They were headed straight for the site of that explosion. Jiang Yu watched them go, a thoughtful expression on his face. Silence hung in the air. Finally, Jiang Daoxin turned to Jiang Yu and the others. Hey, you guys think we should go check it out? Sounds like there might be some kind of treasure over there. But before Jiang Chen could answer, Daoxin piped up, no point in going now. The barrier won't drop for at least 2 days. They're just wasting their time. Oh. Jiang Yu swiveled his head towards Daoxin, intrigued. Even though the little guy wasn't exactly a powerhouse, Jiang Yu trusted his knowledge. Jiang Chen, knowing Daoxin's true identity, was inclined to believe him too. He pondered for a moment, then said, in that case, let's use this time to get stronger. Sounds good, Jiang Yu agreed. Decision made. The brothers plunged into the thick woods, took down a wild beast, and claimed its cave. Jiang Chen examined the Xiantian red flame fruit in his hand, then tossed it to Jiang Yu. What's up with that? Jiang Yu asked. It's a waste to just eat it like that, Jiang Chen explained. You should hang on to it. We'll gather some other ingredients and use it in an elixir. That'll give us way more bang for our buck. Jiang Yu considered this. Alright, good point. Now that we have this, we can whip up a batch of iron bone pills. He pulled out a bunch of elixirs from his storage bag, looking at Jiang Chen and Jiang Daoxin. See if you guys need any of these. Help yourselves. I'm good, big brother, Jiang Daoxin replied. Second brother just gave me a 1,000-year-old elixir. You want some? Jiang Yu shook his head. You take it. Better to take the whole plant, or you lose a lot of its potency. Daoxin's eyes practically bugged out when he saw the Ganoderma lucidum in Jiang Daoxin's hand. He doesn't want it. I do. He exclaimed. Kid, give me that Ganoderma lucidum, and I'll protect you. Nobody will mess with you. A faint smile played on Jiang Daoxin's lips as he looked at Daoxin's excitement. I can't give you the Ganoderma lucidum, but I can give you some other elixirs. What do you say? He pulled out a handful of elixirs from his storage bag. Daoxin was a little disappointed, but he perked up. Okay, deal. It's rare to see someone as wise as you. When I get my strength back, I will definitely teach you a great magical power. Daoxin immediately hopped off Jiang Yu's shoulder, landed on an elixir, and started munching away. Meanwhile, Jiang Chen heard the familiar system notification again, *ding, **. Congratulations to the host for gifting a 4th grade red flame fruit, triggering 1,000 times critical strike reward. Rewarded, a 6th grade black gold fruit, with an upgrade chance value of 1,000, **. Xianjin fruit, contains a large amount of metallic energy and has the effect of purging bone marrow impurities. The effect is very significant. Side effect, may cause moderate discomfort after consumption. Moderate discomfort, those words sent a shiver down Jiang Chen's spine. He still vividly remembered the minor discomfort the system had inflicted on him last time. He hesitated for a moment, then pulled out 3 demon flame fruits from his storage bag. Daoxin's eyes lit up again. 5th grade. Demonic flame fruit. Where did you find those? He leaped toward Jiang Chen. Listen, kid, let's make a deal. You give me one of those, and when I get my strength back, I'll give you a huge opportunity, okay? The first dose of that stuff is the only one that really does anything. Taking too much is just a waste. Jiang Chen smiled at Daoxin's eagerness. What kind of huge opportunity are we talking about? Can you give me a little hint? Daoxin huffed, unhappy. You think I'd lie to you? I'm the mythical 9-colored silkworm. Back in my day. Alright, hold on. Jiang Chen interrupted. Fine, you can have one. But don't forget about that great opportunity you promised. Jiang Chen handed over one of the demonic flame fruits. Daoxin was taken aback at how easily he gave it up, then his face broke into a wide grin. He took a bite immediately. Don't worry, kid. The opportunity will not disappoint you. Meanwhile, Jiang Chen passed out the other 2 demonic flame fruits. The 3 brothers had reached a tacit understanding: when your brother gives you something, you take it, no questions asked. The only downside was that the magic flame fruit was a critical hit reward. So, it wouldn't trigger the critical hit effect. After Jiang Yu ate the magic flame fruit, he took out a bunch of elixirs from the storage bag and shared them with Jiang Chen and Jiang Daoxin. With everything prepared, the 3 of them found separate stone caves. Their retreat had begun. Phew. Jiang Chen took a deep breath. Instead of taking the magic flame fruit first, he pulled out the black gold fruit. System, you're sure you're not messing with me, right? If I take this first, then the magic flame fruit, it'll hurt less. Ding, host, rest assured, I am not misleading you. If you take the magic flame fruit first, it will be more difficult to cleanse the impurities in your bones after your body is strengthened. At that time, taking the black gold fruit again will not only greatly reduce its effectiveness, but also exponentially increase the pain, making it more than not worth it. Jiang Chen considered this, he had to admit, as unreliable as the system could be. Its information was usually spot on. Decision made, Jiang Chen popped the black gold fruit into his mouth. It's just a little discomfort. I can handle that. Ugh. Before he could finish the thought, Jiang Chen groaned, his whole body trembling. As the black gold fruit entered his stomach, a surge of energy erupted, like a wild horse gone rogue, rampaging through his body. Crack, crack, crack. After a moment, the energy penetrated into Jiang Chen's limbs and bones. Constant popping sounds echoed from within. As time passed, Jiang Chen's face grew more and more strained. Sweat poured from his forehead, his expression etched with pain. Chapter 92. Double the Pain. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Besides the gnawing pain, it felt like a million ants were swarming inside his bones, driving him crazy with itching. Then, waves of searing sensations washed over him. It felt like his heart was being devoured alive. Luckily, Jiang Chen had been through this before. Even though the pain was intense, it was manageable. As time passed, the agony subsided, but the cracking of his bones grew louder and more frequent. Afterward, a wave of comfort spread through his body as the remaining medicinal properties transformed into pure energy. This energy flowed through him, warming him from the inside out. With the influx of energy, Jiang Chen's aura intensified, and his power surged. Peak of the 4th level of the Divine Sea Realm. 5th level of Divine Sea Realm. Peak of the 5th level of the Divine Sea Realm. Finally, Jiang Chen reached the peak of the 5th level, just a hair's breadth away from the 6th. Without hesitation, Jiang Chen grabbed a demon flame fruit and swallowed it whole. Boom! Instantly, his blood began to boil, and his body temperature skyrocketed. A burning sensation engulfed him. For a moment, there was silence. Then, an immense amount of energy erupted from his core, and the 9 cyclones within him spun wildly. His muscles clenched and pulsed. Boom! A constant roar echoed in his blood, surging power filled the air, and Jiang Chen's long hair flowed behind him as if moved by an invisible force. Sensing his growing power, Jiang Chen pulled out a handful of elixirs from his storage bag and tossed them into his mouth. He realized the system was right. Having taken the black gold fruit beforehand made refining the demonic flame fruit much easier. Plus, his body was absorbing the medicine at an incredible rate. Too bad there's a limit on the number of demonic flame fruits. Otherwise, I could really level up my physical body. But Jiang Chen knew from the system that even if a second demon flame fruit wouldn't temper his body, he could still absorb its energy. As his energy continued to be consumed, Jiang Chen grabbed another demonic flame fruit and swallowed it. Another surge of power exploded within him. 6th level of Divine Sea Realm. 7th level of Divine Sea Realm. Since most of the medicinal power had been absorbed by his body, his realm didn't improve as much this time. System, with my current strength, can I refine that ice lotus? Negative. The system responded curtly, is there no other way? Jiang Chen didn't give up. Now that his foundation was solid, all he needed was energy to break through. His current cultivation level was decent, but another demon flame fruit would be a waste since the energy gain would be minimal. He'd be better off trading it for other resources. After all, demon flame fruits were rare and valuable. Even selling it would get him a mountain of spiritual stones, so, Jiang Chen turned his attention to the ice lotus. After a short pause, the system chimed in, while refining the entire ice lotus is impossible, the host can attempt to refine one of its leaves. You should barely be able to withstand the potency. Ice lotus leaves. Hearing this, Jiang Chen immediately retrieved the ice lotus. Crack. As soon as it appeared, the temperature in the cave plummeted, and ice crystals formed around Jiang Chen. The ice lotus was crystal clear, radiating cold air, and adorned with 3 vibrant spiritual leaves. They swayed gently, giving it an ethereal beauty. After a moment's thought, Jiang Chen plucked the smallest leaf and quickly put the ice lotus away. The whole process was lightning fast. The intense cold made it too dangerous to keep it nearby for long. Looking at the leaf in his hand, Jiang Chen took a deep breath and carefully placed it in his mouth. Hiss. As the leaf entered his stomach, Jiang Chen gasped. Immediately, an intense wave of cold surged through his body, followed by excruciating pain. His body felt like a balloon about to burst. Arg! Despite enduring immense pain before, Jiang Chen couldn't help but groan. This pain wasn't limited to his body, it also attacked his soul. The ice lotus intensified his perception, doubling the agony. Jiang Chen gritted his teeth. His body was a battleground of ice and fire. He had to withstand both physical and mental torment while simultaneously refining the volatile medicinal power. The dual burden was exhausting. He activated both the chaos creation art and the Xuanhuan art. Pushing them to their limits, the constant refining eased the swelling sensation. Though his body and soul were under siege, Jiang Chen was making progress. He had only refined a fraction of the medicinal power, but his cultivation level had already risen slightly, and the rate was accelerating. After overcoming the initial shock, Jiang Chen's aura began to stabilize. He focused entirely on breaking through. 8th level of the Divine Sea Realm. 9th level of the Divine Sea Realm. To his surprise, Jiang Chen reached the peak of the Divine Sea Realm after refining less than half the medicinal power. He figured he should have no problem breaking through now, but as soon as the thought crossed his mind, the 9 dormant cyclones reacted. They started to riot. Then, they unleashed their combined power and began to devour the remaining energy. In a flash, they seized about 10% of it. The 9 cyclones were like ravenous beasts, feasting on the energy. Jiang Chen noticed that as they absorbed energy, his own strength increased significantly. His power grew more substantial. As time went on, Jiang Chen frowned. A serious expression came over his face. He realized that even though the energy was gone, the 9 cyclones were only about a third full. But as they completely absorbed the energy, they gradually calmed down. Jiang Chen sensed that his own power was still at the peak of the Divine Sea Realm and had not been affected. So, to break through to the creation realm, I need to fill these 9 cyclones first. Jiang Chen had been puzzled as to why having 9 cyclones didn't speed up his cultivation. Now he understood. The cyclones had been holding back his last breakthrough, needing energy to continue forward. Chapter 93, Refining the Remnant Soul of the Emperor. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a bit, Jiang Chen eyeballed the remaining medicinal herbs in his stash and downed them all to juice up his depleted energy. Before he knew it, a whole day had flown by. As Jiang Chen kept at it, refining and absorbing, he almost cleaned out his stash. After a quick self-assessment, Jiang Chen was stoked to find that the ice lotus leaf had seriously buffed his soul power. Where his senses used to max out at around 10 feet, now they stretched hundreds. That's like 10 times the range. And, as he continued refining, that range kept expanding, finally capping out at 150 feet. Eyes squeezed shut, Jiang Chen immediately flexed his newfound spiritual senses. He scanned the whole area. As his senses stretched out, the surroundings popped into his mental map. But it wasn't long before Jiang Chen felt a slight burnout creeping in, and he quickly reeled it back. Still too weak. Less than 20 breaths and my soul's already tapped. Still, Jiang Chen wasn't fazed. Being in the Sea of God's realm meant a weak soul by default. Pulling this off at this stage was already a big deal. Now, Jiang Chen just needed to keep building up that juice. Once he blasted through to the creation realm and unlocked his sea of consciousness, his soul power would skyrocket to crazy levels. If he had the time, Jiang Chen would have kept cranking on the ice lotus. Phew. Shaking off those thoughts, Jiang Chen strolled out of the tiny stone cave. As soon as he hit the main entrance, he saw Daoxin curled up on a grass pile, its body pulsing with dark purple light. The magic flame fruit was gone, just a dark brown pit left on the ground. Boom. Seeing that Jiang Daoxin and Jiang Yu were still in training mode, Jiang Chen quietly shifted the boulder at the entrance and dipped into the darkness. He came back a little later, a few plump rabbits in hand. Then, he got a fire going and skewered those rabbits. At the same time, Jiang Chen pulled out a pot from his stash, filled it with clean water, and tossed in a bunch of the rabbit meat. After a bit of fiddling, Jiang Chen sprinkled in a bunch of seasonings, and suddenly the whole cave reeked of awesome. Glug glug. Sizzle sizzle. Watching the broth bubble and the rabbit meat sizzle, Jiang Chen grinned. Didn't know you had skills like that, making this basic beast meat smell so killer. It was Daoxin, chiming in from behind. Whoosh. In a flash, Daoxin was perched on Jiang Chen's shoulder, eyes glued to the pot, practically drooling. Seeing Daoxin's reaction, Jiang Chen looked puzzled. Aren't you bugs supposed to be vegetarians? What's with the slobber? Daoxin, you're the bug. I keep telling you, I'm a divine beast. Get it? Divine beast. Don't box me in with your narrow mind. I've been all over the place, eaten everything. Even the weirdest, rarest stuff. Daoxin puffed up with pride. Jiang Chen, maybe wipe your chin before you start bragging? You're getting drool on my clothes. Daoxin, who's bragging? I'm just saying, it's true. I'm telling you. Quickly covering up the awkwardness, Daoxin launched back into his awesome stories, all fired up, but while he was talking, his eyes kept darting back to the fire, making Jiang Chen want to laugh. Tap tap tap. Just then, Jiang Daoxin and Jiang Yu strolled out of the tiny cave. When Jiang Yu saw the feast by the fire, he looked surprised. He said quietly, Chen, looks like you've been out of training for a while, setting up all this. Jiang Chen smiled. Not much longer than you guys. Come on, sit down. It'll be ready soon. They hopped down, no hesitation. While they were settling in, Jiang Chen used the system to check them out. After 2 days of hardcore training, Jiang Daoxin had leveled up to stage 6 of the Sea of Gods. His Taotai divine body was getting even stronger. Eyes narrowed, Jiang Chen noticed that even without actively training, spiritual energy was just drawn to Jiang Daoxin. His body seemed to have a mind of its own. It soaked up and refined energy on autopilot. Basically, Jiang Daoxin could just crash anywhere with good energy and level up by doing nothing. Then his gaze swept to Jiang Yu. Jiang Chen couldn't help but look surprised. His brother had started at level 2 of the Divine Sea Realm. But now he'd blasted all the way to the peak of level 8, he was almost keeping up with Jiang Chen's own crazy progress, but then he saw another message and understood. His brother had completely absorbed the Emperor's soul. No wonder he shot up so fast, he was powered by an Emperor's soul. Jiang Chen, alright, dig in. As soon as Jiang Chen said the words, Jiang Daoxin was all over it. Daoxin, me too, me too. Daoxin totally ditched the chill and jumped onto Jiang Yu's shoulder, begging for a taste. Jiang Yu grabbed a bowl and filled it up for the guy. Then, to the amazement of everyone, Daoxin started inhaling the broth like he hadn't eaten in a month, like he'd never seen food before. So good, so good. You're even better than that so-called food god guy. Jiang Daoxin watched Daoxin's over-the-top chomping and looked at Jiang Yu. He couldn't help but blurt out, bro, how long have you been starving him? Why is he eating like that? Jiang Yu's mouth twitched, he just shook his head. This guy's eaten more than me lately. It's not even about hunger. He's just like this. What a letdown for a divine beast. Ha ha ha. Jiang Chen and the others burst out laughing. Chapter 94 An Enviable Opportunity. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It didn't take long for Jiang Chen's food to disappear. Burp. Daoxin belched loudly, looking completely satisfied. and ignored the weird stares from Jiang Chen and the others. Just acted like he didn't even see them. After a moment of silence, Jiang Yu turned to Daoxin on his shoulder and asked softly, "How long until that barrier you mentioned is lifted?" Daoxin replied, "Tonight at the latest, but judging by how things are going, it should be sooner rather than later." Seeing how familiar Daoxin seemed to be with the place, Jiang Chen couldn't help but get curious. "What's behind the barrier? Do you know anything about it?" he asked. Jiang Daoxin and the others also turned their attention to Daoxin. "It seems to be some kind of ancient tomb," Daoxin said. "I just checked it out from the outside. I don't know what's inside, but I can tell you one thing for sure." He looked extremely confident. "Oh." Jiang Daoxin perked up. "What's that?" Daoxin puffed out his chest. "I can guarantee there's treasure in that tomb." Jiang Chen and the others frowned slightly. Jiang Daoxin's face fell and he leaned over to Jiang Yu. "Hey bro, can I smack him?" he whispered. Daoxin's answer was totally useless. But he still seemed pretty smart, so it was hard to tell whether or not he actually deserved getting smacked. Sensing that Jiang Daoxin wanted to hit him, Daoxin's eyes darted around nervously. "Hey, chill out. Because you're Xiaoyu's little brother, I'm gonna let that slide," he blurted. Hey, put me down." But before he could finish, Jiang Yu snatched Daoxin into the air. Seeing the knowing looks from Jiang Chen and the others, Daoxin immediately dropped the attitude. All right. Don't sweat it. Once you get inside the tomb, I'll find all the treasure for you. Just stick with me," he said quickly. Seeing their skeptical looks, Jiang Yu nodded. Daoxin's right. His nose is amazing when it comes to finding treasure. Nose? Seeing the others' strange looks, Daoxin seemed to guess what they were thinking. Like a cat whose tail just got stepped on, he immediately snapped, "What are you looking at?" "I'm a divine beast. Ever heard of those things?" Daoxin's reaction cracked the others up. Jiang Yu said, "All right, knock it off. Let's go check it out. If we wait too long, we'll miss out." "Got it." Jiang Daoxin replied. The three brothers quickly left the cave and headed toward where they heard the explosion earlier. Crack, crack. Even though the fire had been contained pretty quickly, many trees were still scorched black. As they got closer, more and more trees were burned. The ground was covered in charred branches that crackled under their feet. After a while, Jiang Chen and the others spotted several dead beasts. The dried blood indicated that they had been killed recently. After looking around, Jiang Chen and the other two froze in place, staring at a dead tree in front of them. The area became eerily quiet. After a tense moment, a cold voice came from behind the dead tree. "Seriously? Why don't you just come on over here and die?" A figure stepped into view. Crack. More figures appeared in the trees on either side, quickly surrounding them. The leader grinned cruelly. "Look what we have here, a few more Xianqing sect disciples. Wang's plan is working great. Catching them in the open is way easier." While he spoke, the others spread out, completing their encirclement of Jiang Chen and the others. A man in a green robe looked excited. He hurried to the leader's side. "Senior Brother Li, these are the three Jiang brothers. Wang has been looking all over for them." The leader, Li Feng, was radiating the power of a divine Sea Realm master. He must have been at the creation realm at some point in the past. As the green-robed man finished speaking, Li Feng's grin widened. "Nice. This is too easy. Guess I can call off the team early and focus on those Xianqing sect hotshots." Li Feng turned to the green-robed man. "Zhao Zhong, these guys are only at the second level of the divine Sea Realm. You can handle this, right?" Zhao Zhong's face lit up. "Thank you, Senior Brother Li." Zhao Zhong understood. He was at the 8th level of the divine Sea Realm, and Li Feng was clearly giving him a chance to score some points. If he could take out Jiang Chen and the others, he could get some serious perks out of it. The other three Luoyun sect members looked envious. But they understood the situation. Zhao Zhong had been with Li Feng the longest and was a trusted confidant. He deserved the opportunity. The three made up their minds that they needed to stick close to Li Feng in the future. Sensing the shift in everyone's moods, Li Feng smirked. It was exactly the effect he wanted, taking care of business and boosting his influence at the same time. Boom! Zhao Zhong suddenly kicked off the ground and charged at Jiang Chen and the others, unleashing a wave of killing intent that stirred up a wind. Li Feng nodded in satisfaction. Swish! But before Zhao Zhong could get close, Jiang Daoxin charged forward, raised his fist, and met Zhao Zhong head-on. Sensing Jiang Daoxin's surging blood and energy, Jiang Chen knew what was up. The kid was using the dragon elephant heaven-suppressing fist. Jiang Chen felt a surge of anticipation. His third brother had always been super strong. Now that his Taotai physique was kicking in, he was curious to see how powerful the dragon elephant heaven-suppressing fist could be in Jiang Daoxin's hands. Li Feng and the others sensed something was wrong. As the distance closed, Jiang Daoxin's power was increasing. He went from the first level of the Divine Sea Realm to the 6th level. Chapter 95 Beaten to Death. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After noticing the sudden surge of power from Jiang Daoxin, Zhao Chang's face flickered, but he quickly composed himself. He channeled his own energy, figuring Jiang Daoxin's strength was just a fluke. He, a master of the 8th level of the Divine Sea Realm, could easily take down a 6th level cultivator. Still, to be safe, Zhao Chong decided to use his Yin Sha Palm, a low-grade Xian-level technique known for its sinister power. Anyone hit by this palm would feel a dark, malevolent force invading their body, causing unimaginable suffering. In the blink of an eye, they collided. The moment their fists connected, Zhao Chang's face twisted in agony. His eyes nearly popped out of his head. Crack! A surge of blood rushed through Zhao Chang's body, and a metallic taste filled his mouth. Before Zhao Chong could finish his sentence, he coughed up a mouthful of blood. Ack! Boom! A piercing scream echoed as Zhao Chong went flying backward, crashing heavily to the ground. What? How is this possible? Seeing Zhao Chong's miserable state, Li Feng's eyes narrowed, his face contorted with rage. Zhao Chong's clothes were ripped, his chest caved in, and blood streamed from his mouth and nose. He looked like he was on death's door. What was even more unbelievable was Jiang Daoxin, the one who delivered the blow, looked completely unfazed. He hadn't even moved an inch. Ahem. With assistance, Zhao Chong struggled to his feet, staring at Jiang Daoxin with disbelief. How is it possible? The Yin Sha energy entered your body. Why aren't you affected? He distinctly remembered injecting a massive amount of sinister energy into Jiang Daoxin. But now, it was as if nothing had happened. He couldn't comprehend it. The Yin Sha energy? You mean this? Jiang Daoxin slowly opened his palm, revealing a swirling ball of black gas. The gas writhed and pulsed, almost like a playful kitten. Even Li Feng was taken aback. Then, to everyone's astonishment, Jiang Daoxin opened his mouth and inhaled the dark energy. He just sucked it in. Li Feng and the others realized that Jiang Daoxin hadn't just shrugged off the attack, his overall power had actually increased. Li Feng's face hardened. Something was definitely off. This Jiang Daoxin was nothing like the person Wang Ning had described. There was a vast difference in their strength. He glanced at Jiang Chen and the other two, his earlier contempt replaced by a wary caution. Jiang Daoxin's strange power had put him on edge. The other three members of the Luoyun sect exchanged sympathetic glances as they looked at Zhao Chong. Their envy had vanished, replaced by relief. They were lucky Li Feng hadn't sent them in first. They would have been the ones beaten to a pulp. Zhao Chong swallowed a handful of pills. His injury stabilized, but his face remained deathly pale, his breathing ragged, and he coughed up blood every few moments. Li Feng stepped forward, addressing his three remaining disciples. We need to take them down quickly so we can rendezvous with senior brother Wang and the others. The three nodded in agreement. They were around the 7th level of the Divine Sea realm. Although Jiang Daoxin's strength had surprised them, they were confident they could win with Li Feng leading the charge. "Let's go!" Li Feng yelled. He charged straight toward Jiang Daoxin. After a moment's hesitation, the remaining 3 decided to target Jiang Chen and the others. Swish, 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 the 3 moved swiftly, rushing toward Jiang Yu and the other 2. Jiang Chen turned to Jiang Yu. "Brother, leave these 3 to me. Go help our 3rd brother." "Okay." Jiang Yu said. Jiang Yu trusted Jiang Chen's strength. Despite his own improvements, he still sensed a dangerous power emanating from Jiang Chen. The 3 attackers grinned. They were delighted that Jiang Chen planned to take them on alone. "You've got a death wish." One sneered. They quickly surrounded Jiang Chen, launching their attack. But as they did, Jiang Chen unleashed his own aura, a surge of immense power. Damn, he was hiding his strength too. "Run!" Sensing Jiang Chen's terrifying power, the 3 panicked and tried to retreat. But Jiang Chen was too fast. He caught up to them in an instant. Puff, 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 Jiang Chen's fists flew, sending the 3 crashing backward, screaming in agony. Puff, 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 dust billowed as Zhao Chong stood frozen, his mouth agape, his face etched with terror. Meanwhile, Jiang Yu had intended to help Jiang Daoxin, but after witnessing his fight with Li Feng, he realized Jiang Daoxin was holding his own. Instead of interfering, Jiang Yu decided to watch from the sidelines. This was a valuable opportunity for Jiang Daoxin to hone his combat skills. The commotion over by Jiang Chen's side caught his attention. Boom! Li Feng used the force of his clash with Jiang Daoxin to create distance, then turned toward Jiang Chen and the others. His eyes widened in disbelief as the dust settled. Li Feng saw the 3 sprawled on the ground. They were covered in blood, barely breathing, as if on the verge of death. Chapter 96, The Bandit Duo. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Seeing all this, Li Feng's heart sank. He knew he'd run into a brick wall. Wang Ning's intel was way off. These Jiang brothers were each more terrifying than the last. Jiang Daoxin alone was already a pain, but Jiang Chen was clearly on another level. If both of them were this strong, their oldest brother, Jiang Yu, had to be a complete monster. The realization hit Li Feng hard, draining his fighting spirit. All he could think about was getting out of there, fast. His only play now was to team up with the other core disciples for an all-out assault. He started scanning the area, trying to find the best escape route. He knew he only had one shot. If Jiang Daoxin pinned him down and Jiang Chen and the others piled on, he was toast. But just as he was checking his surroundings, the big green caterpillar chilling on Jiang Yu's shoulder piped up, "Hey, that sneaky dude's trying to bolt. Watch him, he's after our stash." Jiang Daoxin locked onto Li Feng. "Don't sweat it, he ain't touching our stuff. I'm on him." Li Feng was taken aback when he heard the caterpillar talking. But he quickly recovered. It wasn't uncommon for powerful beasts to speak. Once they hit a certain level, they could basically talk. Or, some had special abilities that let them talk early, even if they weren't that strong. Li Feng figured this caterpillar was the second type. It wasn't that powerful, just at the first level. When he realized Jiang Daoxin was locked on him, Li Feng's face fell. He glared at the caterpillar, but he still had to play it cool. "Jiang Daoxin," he said, trying to sound offended, "don't go making stuff up. I didn't take your storage bag. We've never even met before, right?" Jiang Daoxin looked dead serious and pointed at the storage bag on Li Feng's waist. "That's my bag," he said flatly. Li Feng almost choked. This guy was seriously claiming his bag. The nerve. "This is my storage bag," Li Feng sputtered. "When did it become yours?" He was practically yelling. "It was yours," Jiang Daoxin said, "but now it's mine. Save your breath. No one's coming to save you, and I'm not giving you the chance to run." With that, Jiang Daoxin charged. Li Feng's face turned grim. He had no choice but to fight back. He hadn't expected the guy to see through his stalling tactic so easily. As the fight dragged on, Li Feng started to panic. He saw Jiang Chen and the others heading their way. If they ganged up on him, he was done for. Wait, then, he saw a glimmer of hope. Jiang Chen and the others stopped some distance away, not moving to help. If I can grab Daoxin, I can use him as a shield and get away. His eyes turned fierce, and his energy flared, creating a powerful gust of wind. Dust swirled around them, two flames erupted in Li Feng's palms, growing steadily. The temperature around them shot up. Jiang Daoxin felt a wave of heat wash over him. Meanwhile, Zhao Zhong stared at his three dead buddies, despair creeping in. But when he saw the flames in Li Feng's hands, a spark of hope ignited. He knew Li Feng was using fire art, a high-level move. Li Feng had mastered it enough to actually wound someone powerful. It was only a minor injury, but it proved the technique's potential. After all, the gap between half-step and real creation level was huge. Zhao Zhong knew that his chances of escaping in his condition were zero. But he understood Li Feng's plan and felt a surge of excitement. If Li Feng pulled this off, they might just survive. All their hopes rested on him. Back in the fight, Li Feng spread his arms wide as the flames in his hands grew. Fiery fire burning the sky. He yelled. The flames shot out, engulfing Jiang Daoxin in a sea of fire. Yes. He saw Jiang Daoxin surrounded by his flames and felt a rush of triumph. Collect. He slammed his hands together, pulling the flames inward, trapping Jiang Daoxin and burning him. Huh. But then, his face twisted in disbelief. Jiang Daoxin didn't seem fazed by the flames at all. What is this kid? Why isn't my fire art working? But what happened next shattered his composure. Jiang Daoxin opened his mouth and sucked in the flames. His belly bulged for a moment, then went back to normal. He'd just absorbed all the flames. Li Feng stared at Jiang Daoxin, who looked slightly stronger, and took a step back in horror. Zhao Zhong watched it all unfold. His body trembled uncontrollably. With Li Feng's best shot failing, he saw no way out. Chapter 97. The Tomb Opens. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Whoosh. Li Feng, reeling from the shock, spun around and bolted, no hesitation. Whoosh. But, not long after Li Feng took off, Jiang Chen materialized in front of him and landed a punch. Li Feng's face went white. Damn it, he roared, throwing up his own fist to meet the attack. Boom. The impact sent Li Feng staggering backward. His face was flushed, his arms shook, and blood trickled from the corner of his mouth. How is this possible? Li Feng gasped. How can you be so strong? Jiang Chen didn't answer. He just charged again. Boom, boom, boom. They were locked in combat once more. Meanwhile, seeing Jiang Chen engaged with Li Feng, Jiang Daoxin turned and stalked toward Zhao Zhong. Zhao Zhong's face was a mask of terror as Jiang Daoxin approached. He scrambled backward. You, stay away, he screamed as he retreated. He was already badly hurt, his speed no match for Jiang Daoxin. As Jiang Daoxin closed in, a desperate look hardened Zhao Zhong's features. If I'm going down, he snarled, I'm taking you with me. Boom. Zhao Zhong's energy flared wildly, and his body began to swell. Jiang Yu, nearby, instantly tensed. Third brother, watch out. Boom. Before Jiang Yu could react, Jiang Daoxin moved. Instead of retreating, he sped up, hurtling toward Zhao Zhong. Thunk. Zhao Zhong sputtered, you. Wow. In a heartbeat, Jiang Daoxin was upon him. Before Zhao Zhong could unleash his energy, Jiang Daoxin's fist smashed into his dantian, shattering it. Puff, puff, puff. Blood erupted from Zhao Zhong's body as his swollen form rapidly deflated. The light faded from his eyes. Boom. To make sure he wouldn't cause any more trouble, Jiang Daoxin slammed a fist into his chest. Zhao Zhong's life force vanished completely. Thud. Just as Jiang Daoxin finished, a loud crash echoed from nearby. Li Feng had slammed into the ground, sending up a cloud of dust. Ahem. Li Feng coughed, spewing blood from his mouth and nose. The realization of his injuries filled his eyes with despair. Whoosh! Remembering what happened with Zhao Chong, Jiang Chen wasted no time in grabbing for Li Feng. No. I can't die. Li Feng cried, seeing Jiang Chen closing in. Li Feng fought through the pain and scrambled to his feet, staggering toward the exit, but he only made it a few steps. A figure blocked his path. Jiang Yu. Are you going to butcher us all? Thunk. You. Jiang Yu's only response was a swift strike. Li Feng stared at the blood gushing from his chest, his eyes filled with bitter resentment. Regret gnawed at him. If he'd been more decisive, he might have bought them time, but his desperate attempt to save himself had cost them a chance to counterattack. Don't get cocky, Li Feng rasped. Senior brother Wang will avenge me. Ugh. Jiang Yu ignored his words, retracting his arm. Thump, thump. Li Feng stumbled backward. He looked at the gaping wound in his chest, then his hateful gaze swept over Jiang Chen and the others. Thud. Li Feng crashed to the ground, the sound echoing in the sudden silence. His life force faded to nothing. Seeing this, Jiang Dao moved quickly, looting the bodies and gathering up the storage bags. As Jiang Daoxin approached, Jiang Chen spoke first. Hold on to the storage bags for now. We'll sort everything out when we get back. Jiang Daoxin nodded and stashed them away. Then De Qing piped up. Hey, Xiao Daoxin, don't forget my cut. Jiang Daoxin nodded. Don't worry, I won't. Boom! The ground trembled, and strange noises erupted from the dense forest. The spiritual energy in the air crackled. Crack! Boom! A bolt of lightning split the sky, followed by a deafening roar. They looked up to see dark clouds gathering overhead, plunging the area into shadow. De Qing's eyes widened. The ancient tomb is open. Let's go, or all the treasure will be gone. Huh. Jiang Chen and the others exchanged glances. They plunged into the dense forest. Whoosh! They moved with speed, drawing closer to the source of the noise, but they were puzzled. They hadn't seen anyone else. Finally, a stone door appeared before them, leading into a dark passage. Whoosh! A gust of cold wind blasted out of the passage, sending a chill through them. Jiang Chen studied the muddy footprints around the entrance. No wonder we haven't seen anyone. Looks like they've all gone into the tomb. Let's go, Jiang Yu said. Let's see what's inside. They rushed into the cave. Tap, tap, tap. Inside the passage, the environment turned eerily silent. The wind vanished, only their footsteps echoed. Drip, drip. As they moved deeper, the sound of dripping water echoed around them. Huh. Jiang Chen noticed several mangled corpses of wild beasts ahead. The blood was still fresh, meaning they were killed recently. They quickened their pace. After a long trek, they paused. All eyes turned to Da Qing. They were facing a maze of tunnels. Da Qing frowned. The energy here is too chaotic. Each tunnel leads to a different place. I can only offer a suggestion. The choice is yours. He looked embarrassed. Chapter 98, Going Deeper, Netherworld Ghost Spider. You are listening at novelfull.audio. De Qing shut his mouth. Jiang Daoxin's eyes narrowed with suspicion. Wait a minute, he said. Didn't you promise finding treasure with you would be a breeze? This doesn't sound so breezy. Was that a lie? De Qing's face flushed with embarrassment, but he quickly recovered, his confidence returning. Hey, cut me some slack. I didn't expect the energy down here to be so messed up. Plus, I've only recovered a fraction of my power. I'm working with limitations here. But listen up, he continued, those entrances I picked out. They're guaranteed to have some sweet loot. You gotta go check them out to see what's what. Silence hung in the air for a moment. Jiang Chen glanced at Jiang Yu and the others. Lowering his voice, he suggested, we'll move faster if we split up. How about we each pick an entrance and explore on our own? Yes. Jiang Yu exclaimed. That's exactly what I was thinking. Jiang Daoxin chimed in, nodding. Alright, I'll take the passage on the left. You two be careful. I'm heading in. With a quick nod from his brothers, Jiang Daoxin darted into the cave entrance and vanished. As soon as he was gone, Jiang Yu headed for the central passage. Take care, little brother, he murmured. Moments later, Jiang Chen stood alone at the mouth of the passage. After a moment's hesitation, he stepped into the entrance on the far left and began his descent. The passage sloped sharply downward. Dim, flickering lights dotted the walls, providing just enough illumination for Jiang Chen to scan his surroundings. A flicker of surprise crossed his eyes. The passage was a maze, twisting and turning like an ant colony, with interconnecting tunnels leading up and down. After walking a while, Jiang Chen reached a small platform, a sort of transfer station. Several new holes appeared before him. Frowning at the labyrinthine layout, Jiang Chen carefully examined each entrance. After a moment's thought, he chose another passage and rushed down quickly. The deeper he went, the more humid the passage became. A faint, fishy odor hung in the air, growing increasingly unpleasant. Jiang Chen stopped dead in his tracks. Before him lay several shriveled corpses. Judging by their clothing, they were disciples of the Xianqing sect. Their skin remained intact, but all the flesh and blood within their bodies had vanished. The expressions of stark terror on their faces suggested they'd witnessed something truly horrifying before they died. After a careful examination, Jiang Chen frowned. The wounds indicated they'd been killed with a single blow, without even a chance to fight back. Keep in mind, anyone venturing down to the second level would have to be at least at the Divine Sea Realm level, many at its peak, and they'd been traveling together, yet, they'd been wiped out with a single strike. Whatever lurked in the darkness was no ordinary threat. A shiver of caution ran through Jiang Chen. Tap, tap star. His footsteps echoed in the empty passage. A little further ahead, the passage widened considerably. Jiang Chen spotted more corpses, this time a mix of both sects, but mostly from the Luoyun sect. The atmosphere had grown heavy, oppressive. The stench was almost unbearable. Drip 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 star. Sizzle star. The sound of dripping water broke the silence, followed by a hissing sound. Jiang Chen's eyes snapped towards the noise. A pool of dark green liquid sat directly in his path. It was actively corroding the ground. Following the trail of dripping liquid upwards, Jiang Chen's gaze locked onto something above. Whoosh, star. Without hesitation, Jiang Chen leaped backwards. Boom. Star. A split second later, a massive foot crashed down where he had been standing, pulverizing the ground. A deafening roar echoed through the passage. His star, enraged that its attack had missed, the gigantic creature shrieked, and several blood-red eyes glared at Jiang Chen. In the dim light, Jiang Chen finally made out the form of the creature. It was a colossal spider, dozens of feet across, its exoskeleton completely black. 8 pairs of scarlet eyes glared from its head. The dark green liquid dripped from its fangs. As the system analysis activated, a message flashed into view. Name, Nether Ghost Spider. Realm, first level of the creation realm. Racial characteristics. Exoskeleton is as hard as iron, contains a potent venom, highly territorial, and naturally bloodthirsty. Star. The ghost spider slowly extracted its massive foot from the ground, sending a shower of stone fragments scattering through the passage. Then, it settled onto the ground, its eyes fixed on Jiang Chen with ravenous hunger. A creation realm beast. No wonder these guys never stood a chance. Hiss, sha. With a roar, the ghost spider's legs moved with surprising speed, and it charged towards Jiang Chen. A stream of viscous fluid sprayed from its mouth. As it closed the distance, the stench intensified, and the temperature plummeted several degrees. Swish. Sidestepping the spray, Jiang Chen vanished from his original position. Puff, star. Sizzle, star. The liquid hit the ground, sending up a plume of black smoke and leaving a gaping hole. Jiang Chen had intended to use his superior speed to gradually wear down the ghost spider and find an opening to strike. What he didn't anticipate, however, was that despite its massive size, the ghost spider moved with alarming speed, its 8 long legs a blur of motion. It scuttled up the walls of the passage, closing the gap between them with every step. Puff, puff, puff star. As it pursued him, the ghost spider spewed strands of white silk from its mouth, blocking his escape routes, cutting off any chance of retreat. Jiang Chen knew that if he continued to run, he was doomed. The growing web of silk was slowing him down, and the ghost spider was gaining on him. Asterisk swish star, the air crackled as the ghost spider reared up on its hind legs and unleashed a barrage of attacks. Chapter 99, The Nest in the Passage. You are listening at novelfull.audio. All escape routes were cut off. Jiang Chen stopped backing up. The chaos creation technique kicked into high gear, and he charged the ghost spider head-on. Whoosh! Seeing Jiang Chen coming, the ghost spider reared up and swung its two massive legs at him. Buzz! The legs sliced through the air like giant blades, creating a sonic boom. Boom! Crack! Crack! Suddenly, a deafening crash. Jiang Chen caught the ghost spider's legs with both hands, but the spider's incredible strength forced his feet to sink into the ground. The bluestone paving shattered, cracks spread rapidly in every direction, and shards of rock flew through the passage. Then, Jiang Chen felt a tingling in his palms and looked down. The ghost spider's legs were covered in a dense layer of barbs, many of which had already pierced his skin. A dark green liquid oozed from the barbs, spreading quickly. Even worse, Jiang Chen felt a strong suction, as if the barbs were drawing his blood. Whoosh! Realizing the danger, Jiang Chen threw the spider's legs away with all his might. Then, he leaped back. Hiss! Hiss! The ghost spider screeched, drool dripping from its fangs. After tasting Jiang Chen's blood, it became even more enraged, its eyes burning with greed. Keeping his distance, Jiang Chen examined his palms. Several tiny puncture wounds surrounded by dark green liquid marked the spots where the barbs had pierced him. However, the wounds were already closing at an incredible rate, and the Xuanhuan Ju was neutralizing the toxins as fast as they entered his system. Boom! 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 After a brief pause, the spider's 8 legs pounded the ground as it charged at Jiang Chen again, countless tiny suction cups appearing on its feet. Whoosh! Boom! Once again, man and spider collided in a deafening roar, the terrifying energy rippling outwards. Having tested the spider's strength, Jiang Chen let his blood surge. A wave of violent energy erupted from him. He unleashed the dragon elephant suppressing heaven fist. On the other side, sensing the potent energy within Jiang Chen, the ghost spider roared even louder, its greed intensified. Boom! 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 Under Jiang Chen's relentless blows, the spider, despite being dozens of feet long, was forced back, its body covered in cuts and bruises. Jiang Chen yelled, shock the elephant, imprison the dragon. Roar! 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 As Jiang Chen's fist connected, a roar echoed from the void, and the ghost spider sensed his terrifying power. It panicked. Boom! After a final, brutal collision, the ghost spider flew backwards and slammed into the stone wall, splattering dark green blood. Ugh! The ghost spider struggled to its feet, shaking its head trying to get its sight back. Its energy was in turmoil, and a hint of fear flickered in its bloodshot eyes. This human is a freak. How can he keep up with me, even when his cultivation is so much weaker than mine? And after all this fighting, he's not getting tired, he's getting stronger. The ghost spider glanced at the gaping hole in its chest and glared at Jiang Chen. It spun around and scurried into the depths of the passage. Boom! But Jiang Chen had anticipated its move. He kicked off the ground with all his might, launching himself forward and closing the gap. Although the spider's body was incredibly tough, its legs had been injured in the previous fight, it was moving much slower now. Jiang Chen easily caught up. Using his momentum, he leaped onto the ghost spider's back. The spider thrashed wildly, trying to smash Jiang Chen against the walls. Before the spider could reach the wall, Jiang Chen plunged his arm through its back. Hiss! The ghost spider shrieked in agony, thrashing even harder. Whoosh! Boom! At the last second, Jiang Chen jumped clear of the spider, and it slammed into the wall with a sickening thud. Gurgle! Gurgle! Blood gushed from the wound on the spider's back. Whoosh! Jiang Chen gave it no time to recover. He charged again. The passage was filled with the sounds of battle. As Jiang Chen continued his relentless attack, the ghost spider grew weaker and weaker, until finally, it lost all reason. It started attacking randomly. Jiang Chen punched through the ghost spider's head. When he pulled back his arm, a black crystal appeared in his palm. Boom! As the crystal left its body, the ghost spider's blood-red eyes glazed over, its body hit the ground hard, its 8 legs twitched for a moment, then went still. Jiang Chen noticed that as the ghost spider's life force faded, the venom pouring from its wounds was rapidly dissolving its body. Zzzzz. In the blink of an eye, the spider's flesh was gone, leaving only a pile of bones. A powerful stench filled the air. Jiang Chen frowned. He didn't want to linger and continued down the passage. After walking for a while, he noticed another opening on the left, a faint, sweet scent wafting from it. Intrigued, Jiang Chen stepped inside. Drip, drip. As he went deeper, the air grew colder, and the sound of dripping water echoed around him. The walls were covered in thick spider silk. At the end of the passage, Jiang Chen found a pool of water, its surface completely covered in spiderwebs. Mist rose from the surface, condensing on the webs into droplets that fell back into the pool. To his left, Jiang Chen saw a nest made of spider silk, filled with spider eggs. Then, Jiang Chen noticed something strange. Among the many white spider eggs, one was golden. Jiang Chen picked up the golden egg. He could feel a powerful life force within. He didn't go directly to the nest but looked around first. The sweet scent suggested other treasures might be nearby, otherwise, the ghost spider wouldn't have chosen this place for its lair. Chapter 100, One of the 10 Evils, the Sky-Swallowing Demonic Spider. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After a quick scan, Jiang Chen found nothing besides the spider eggs in the nest. Whoosh, star, Jiang Chen leaped up, landing directly on the spiderweb. He carefully made his way towards the spider egg nest. Scattered across the web were numerous skeletons, both human and animal, some dating back years. This indicated that Huangtian's ancient tomb wasn't a recent discovery. These were likely previous explorers. As he approached the nest, a peculiar thing happened. Instead of a foul stench, Jiang Chen noticed an increasingly strong, pleasant fragrance. Inhaling the scent, he felt his pores relax. Sensing the change within himself, Jiang Chen's eyes lit up, and he quickened his pace. Soon arriving at the lair's entrance, the nest was embedded in a stone wall, extending inward. Fortunately, the opening was wide enough for Jiang Chen to enter easily. Thump, 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 star. As he neared the spider eggs, a dull heartbeat echoed in his ears. Ignoring the large, white eggs, Jiang Chen's gaze locked onto a golden one. The system quickly scanned it, and information appeared. Original species, Netherworld ghost spider. Status, bloodline reversion. After ancestral return, sky-swallowing demon spider. Bloodline purity, 70%, can continue to evolve. Sky-swallowing demon spider, one of the 10 ancient evils. It can tear through the void, allowing free travel. It thrives by consuming violent energy to grow stronger. Jiang Chen's eyes gleamed with excitement. He hadn't expected to find a sky-swallowing demon spider. As adults, these spiders were incredibly powerful, with unmatched escape abilities. Their ability to tear the void made them nearly untouchable, except for those with overwhelming strength. Constant travel through the void's turbulent flow also hardened their bodies, making them as tough as dragons. The sky-swallowing demon spider's innate powers were terrifying. The constant consumption of violent energy allowed it to amplify an opponent's inner demons during battle. Combined with its nightmare powers, few could defeat it in the same realm. Jiang Chen wasn't about to let this opportunity pass. Even if he gave it away, the critical hit reward for something of this caliber would be amazing. Carefully, he picked up the golden egg. As soon as he did, the heartbeats grew louder. A look of surprise crossed Jiang Chen's face. Underneath the golden egg was a small, bowl-shaped stone trough filled with a dark purple liquid. With the egg removed, the fragrance intensified, becoming even more refreshing. Name, Heaven and Earth Spiritual Milk. Properties, enhances physical fitness and strengthens bones. A unique creation of Heaven and Earth. Heaven and Earth Spiritual Milk. Now Jiang Chen understood the egg's mutation. It was due to the spiritual milk. Judging by the residue in the trough, the egg had absorbed at least 2/3 of it. Looking at the remaining third, Jiang Chen winced slightly. Oh well, star. At least there's still some left. Every little bit counts. Better save it. He pulled out a porcelain bottle from his storage bag, ready to collect the remaining milk, but then, the system beeped. Host, heaven and earth spiritual milk requires a special container to prevent energy loss. A Tianqing Xianjing container is needed. Jiang Chen stopped, his arm frozen in place. Special container, what kind of container do I need, ? To preserve the energy, you need a container made of Tianqing Xianjing. Jiang Chen was stumped. He'd never even heard of Tianqing Xianjing, and finding it now was impossible. Then he remembered the system's opportunity store, it has everything. There's gotta be something there, . He searched the store and found Tianqing Xiantai. The price wasn't too bad, but to his dismay, while he could exchange for it, he had no idea how to forge weapons. Holding the Xianjing wouldn't do him any good. Defeated, Jiang Chen gave up. Forget it, . If I can't take it, I'll just refine it here. It'll replenish some energy, . Though disappointed, it was the best option. What a shame. The reward for giving this away would have been amazing. He sighed. Jiang Chen channeled his true energy, pouring the remaining heaven and earth spirit milk from the trough into the porcelain bottle, then quickly drank it down. As soon as it hit his stomach, his 9 dormant cyclones sprang to life, spinning rapidly. Boom. Spiritual energy surged. Streams of pure energy poured out. And the cyclones devoured it greedily, but not all the energy was absorbed. Half of it remained, washing over Jiang Chen's body, causing his pores to glow with a rosy light. Though his strength didn't increase, he felt more connected to the world, and his spiritual energy absorption speed improved. Once the washing was complete, the remaining energy was absorbed by the cyclones, stabilizing his previously volatile aura. After checking himself, Jiang Chen smiled in satisfaction. Refining the spiritual milk had filled 2/3 of the energy his cyclones needed. Soon, he would only need to fill the last third to break through to the creation realm, and there wouldn't be any bottleneck. He collected his thoughts and stood up. Leaving the white spider eggs untouched, he exited the cave. Returning to the main passage, Jiang Chen continued his journey deeper into the tomb.